Guidance, what is it? Do we have it? Did we lose it? Did we even have it in the first place? Do we even need it? In this episode, we'll be talking about guidance. Let's go.
Welcome from Roots to Fruit as a Canadian Christian Orthodox homeschooling mother that also works. Many challenges arise. Come with me as I explore these issues, all of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's go on a journey together from roots to fruit.
Guidance. I find we use this word less and less these days. It is a word that hangs out in the background and comes out once in a while. We use it without having wisdom, and guidance without wisdom is like shooting an arrow and hoping it lands where you want it to. And do we know what it actually means and why it's important? Well, according to the dictionary, guidance is help or advice that is given to somebody, especially by someone older or with more experience. Just want to note that the definition mentions guidance that comes from someone older or with more experience. More on that later. Guidance to me is important. It is something I've been trying to find ever since I was a kid, and something I feel really lacks in our society. As children, we are told how to act, behave, and talk in a certain way by our parents, teachers, and other authority. Yet not many explain why it is necessary to do these things, and I don't think they know themselves. Not many are by your side to walk with you to help you grow as a person. Then when you're teenagers, society is upset with your teenage angst. We are told we need to figure out our future quickly, as if we have the experience of life to make such massive decisions. And when we give the typical teenage response of, I don't know, just leave me alone, the reaction is one of dismay. After all, it's teenage attitude, and they'll grow out of it, right? Most schools have guidance counselors that are supposed to help. In my day, we didn't even know who they were until the last year of high school, and they didn't really provide much guidance or counseling for that matter. Then we headed to post-secondary, and we must go, otherwise our entire future will be jeopardized. Once that is completed, we miraculously understood the world, are great citizens, are expected to have good jobs, get married, have children, and drive into the sunset. The end. But wait, that's not life. Not even close. Where's the guidance? We spend our childhood mostly in school and or activities. We don't have time to think about what we like and what we don't. And to be honest, why would we? We're just kids enjoying what each day brought. By the time we reach our teens, our heads were swimming with everything under the sun. Am I going to pass the subject? Does that guy or girl like me? What am I interested in doing after school? We don't necessarily choose the things that interest us, but instead they're chosen for us. When we head to high school, we're expected to know the plan of our entire life. How on earth is a teenager supposed to know that? And why are we so hard on them when they don't? Then, when we're in post-secondary, we feel a weight has been lifted, a freedom to choose our path, the feeling that we finally made it. Our life has now begun. Unfortunately, for most, this is where life takes a turn. After all, at this point, we're supposed to be adults, yet our foundation has not been built. Where was the guidance, and why were the older, more experienced individuals calling us slackers instead of teaching us? They didn't teach us about skills. They didn't take an interest in our interests. They didn't teach us about life and the importance. Instead, they boiled all of life down to stay in school as long as you can, get a job, get married, have children, and don't worry about the rest. There's no more meaning to what we do. And why is this all happening? I would say the big part of it is that we remove God from our lives and replace it with nihilism. We care more now about what makes us feel better rather than how God wants us to live our lives. This trickles down to our kids and removes the crucial foundation that is required. My personal opinion is that as a whole, there's no more guidance. Guidance is gone because those that should be experienced and wise are now learning what they needed to learn. I believe we used to have it. I believe we need it. I would also like to add that parents are not perfect. There's no trial run to being a parent, no handbook, no manual. We go off by what we've been taught and hope it works out. So what do we do about it? Well, thank God that church is set up for just such a question. It took me far too many decades to realize that even if guidance is not in my life, it is and will always be within the church. We have the Bible, the saints, and other literature. The Bible provides us with Jesus' teachings and how we're supposed to live our lives. Even if he gives us examples of guidance, it may be difficult to relate it to our modern lives. This is where the saints come in. There are many saints and many writings to help us show us the way. One of my favorite is St. John. His writings have truly helped me in life, but for you, it may be a different saint or saints. There are also other writings by modern writers that I have found useful as well to help us navigate our modern world. All these writings will guide us to where we need it and to be our rudder in life. They will guide us to whether we have guidance in our lives or not. Let's take the knowledge and experience that we have and try to correct the problems for our children. Let's walk with our children, guide them, help them, and listen to them. Let's be kind and understanding, compassionate to one another. Let's share our experiences and learn from each other. Thank you for your time. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your time. If you want to know more about me and my podcast, please visit me at my website for more information at FromRootsToFruit.podbean.com. May you be blessed from roots to fruit.